Hello everybody, it's Dr. Green. In this segment, I want to discuss projects, the Projects tab, the Useful Websites tab, the Student Resources tab, and Blackboard Help tab. And first, we're going to start with the Projects tab. And in this particular course, you have a timeline project due, and it gives you an overview of the project, a little background on it, but basically you're going to create a timeline, and the specifics are in that paragraph for you. But you can see it's worth 200 points, so that's a substantial amount towards your grade, and you want to obviously do the best you can. And I notice that the creator of this timeline project uses Read, Write, Think, which I've used a lot in the past, and I'm just going to take you there to kind of show you what that is. Anytime, that's obviously a hyperlink, so you can get started, and you can create your project just by simply typing and starting. But here's what the timeline will look like, obviously with added with dates added and significant moments in time that your instructor wanted you to highlight. And you can save the draft, send it to yourself. I suggest doing that a couple of different ways to make sure you have it. So that is your project for the course. And then the Useful Websites tab is being built, and what that is every once in a while, depending on what the content is for the week, your instructor has the opportunity to add links for you to read outside resources and further your understanding or investigation of a particular topic. And that is, again, something to keep an eye on. Then I want to highlight this tab because it's very important, and it's the Student Resources tab. I suggest you spend time going through this. So in this first link here, you have the Kendall College policies with topics such as academic integrity, where they'll discuss plagiarism, ADA, American with Disabilities Act, if you're a student with special needs, that discusses that and how you can get help that way. Attendance and what that means online is a little different than on ground, but you still are expected to be in Blackboard throughout the week and participating. And then grading, we use an A, B, C, D, F system that you're probably used to. And then standards of dress doesn't apply to you because you're an online learner. So you can attend in your PJs if you like. Technology support. So if you need help with Blackboard, you'll find it under this tab. If you live close to campus and your computer goes on the fritz, what's happened, sometimes you can go to campus and located on the 4th floor, you'll have access to the computer lab where you can copy, print, scan. Microsoft Office has information on that, and if you don't have Microsoft Office or some other suite of products where you can create documents like word processing documents, that's important to get, and you'll do a lot of typing papers and creating presentations, so you're going to want to have some kind of suite of products that'll allow you to do that, and it shows you how to save documents as a PDF file as well. So I'll let you go through that. But the part I really want to highlight is the student services, the student support services, such as academic advising, academic success center, career services, financial aid, library, and student affairs. It's important that you remember that all of this is located under the Student Resources tab. So you're going to want to find that, and I want to go into that tab a little bit more detail here. So I'm going to click on it and open it up. Academic advising. You are lucky to have Mindy Fiala right here as the senior academic advisor for early childhood education. She's great. She'll take care of you. She will point you in the right direction if you have questions about your courses. It's important that you have a plan in place and you stick to that plan, or if you need to change that plan, which sometimes happens, that you communicate with her in her office to make sure you're on the right track. Okay. The Academic Success Center, I want to stress this to you. This is a resource that you should definitely take advantage of. It's part of your program, but it's the John A. Miller Academic Success Center. And if you look, it's meant to provide students with academic support and help develop strategies to reach your goals. In short, you can use them as a tutor. You can send a paper to them. There's writing support, math support if you're taking a math course as a gen ed elective. So they will help you with tutoring, and I highly suggest you going through the Academic Success Center if you have trouble with writing or need some additional assistance. And their contact information is there. Meredith is someone I've worked with for years, so she's someone you can definitely get in contact with and point you in the right direction. Career services. Well, that's the fun stuff. Whenever you go through your whole program, you're ready to get a job, right? So you want to keep them in mind. They are a resource, and Valerie Vasquez works with the education students. She does a great job of, handling licensure if that's the route you take, and pointing you to get the job that you've worked so hard to earn. So that's the career services team, led by Kristen Hodges. But Valerie is probably the one you'll be talking with most. And then financial aid. Keep in contact with financial aid. As a past student myself, I know how stressful that can be. So kind of keep track of your loans, and if you're using financial aid, and what, stay updated on where your money situation is I would say periodically throughout each term, to just kind of give yourself that peace of mind. And so financial aid is someone you're going to want to keep close if that's something that you use. And then the library, whenever you'll notice in one of the earlier videos I mentioned how you're meant to write academically. You're an academic writer now. Well, part of that is finding credible sources, and Wikipedia, although I use it a lot, is not a credible source to put in an academic paper. But where you can find those and other information is through the library. And Alexis is the librarian. She's great. She will definitely, again, point you in the right direction if you have questions, meaning if you call her and say, I'm investigating the theorist Piaget and I need some additional information, she would be able to point you to where you could find that. So definitely use the library to find credible resources. Also, Google Scholar. If you use Google Scholar as a search engine, that's another one that you can trust. And then student life. If you want to get involved with campus, which I highly suggest, in different ways, they can help you with that. They can connect you with student activities, clubs, and organizations. It's a part of the college experience is getting involved and learning with the community and doing things in the community to give back, and different activities, fun things like I think last year they went to an amusement park. So things like that. I highly suggest you get involved and meet like-minded people. And then also, stress is a huge factor for any college student, and you have help if you need it. So, and I'll just kind of read this blurb here. It's stay steady on your feet with confidential support, expert information, and valuable resources for every aspect of your life, 24/7. It's a free resource available to you. So if you are having trouble with stress and managing your time, I highly suggest you give them a call. And it's totally confidential, so that's a good thing. And you can, use that as you see fit. And also, I wanted to point out this last section here, strategies for success. I mentioned 3 quick strategies about communicating with instructors, but this tab goes into a lot of detail about managing stress, time, getting ready to learn, staying organized, and writing effectively. So spend time in the student resources tab and do yourself a huge favor. You will alleviate a lot of stress that you have just by knowing there are these resources out there. So spend time with that. And then last for this video, Blackboard Help. And this is just general Blackboard Help, but if you get stuck with something, I would suggest FAQs for students. And I clicked on the Blackboard Help tab, and it gives you information on login FAQs, assignment FAQs, etc. And so depending on the particular issue that you're having, you can go through and check that out. So the short story here is there's a lot of resources available to you, and spend time going through those tabs, especially over these first 2 weeks, reading that, because this is going to, again, follow you throughout your entire career at Kendall, and we want the best for you. So use these resources as needed, and know that you can find them in the student resources tab. Okay, all right, thanks everybody.